How you all doing, ladies and gentlemen? So we're here today with Japanese historian describes first contact with European 16th century. Um, Now I saw this video in my recommendations and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds very fascinating." So I really want to hop in here and see what it's all about. I want to hop in here and see what this video is all about. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this person's videos, so I'm not sure what their style is, how they're delivering their information. But I definitely, I definitely want to see what they have to say. So let us hop right in and see what they have to say. As always, I'll have the link to the original in the description down below. You can go check it out. Obviously, they put the time in, not me. I'm just critiquing and giving a commentary on it. They actually put the time into making this. So please go ahead and check their video out before you check out mine. Thank you. Record of the musket.
To the south of Gushu, 18 ri off the shore, there is an island called Tanegashima. My forebears have lived there for generations. According to a legend from ancient times, the name Tanegashima, the Seed Island, is derived from the fact that the number of inhabitants, in spite of the smallness of the island, has grown and prospered like seeds.
Like seeds, okay.
Which, once planted, grow and produce new seeds without number.
Yep. Okay. I get that metaphor.
Some years ago, in the Tenbun era, on the 25th day of the 8th month in the autumn of the Mizunoto Yu, a big ship had arrived at dawn at Nishimura Bay. No one knew from what country it came. There were some 100 people on board. Among them, there were those whose physical features differed from ours, and who...
So the Portuguese, the traders, okay. The big European... I don't want to say conquest, but rather the big European discovery, I guess. If it's not quite the word I'm looking for, but the big voyage. There we go. Everyone going off, and everyone trying to find new places to conquer, to trade with, so on and so forth. So that's how it first started.
Whose language was not understood. Those who saw them found them strange. Among them was a scholar from Great Ming, China. His personal name was Goho, but now nothing is surely known about his family name.
Okay.
The chieftain of Nishimura at the time was Oribenojo, who knew written Chinese well.
That's
At
how.
chance meeting with Goho, he conversed with him by writing in the sand with a stick.
That's how.
He wrote, "We do not know what country these people on board come from.
Mm-hmm.
They look strange, do they not? They are traders from among the southwestern barbarians.
Barbarians.
They have some knowledge of the relationship between superior and inferior, but otherwise they do not know about property. Therefore, when they drink, they do not use cups, and when they eat, they use their fingers and not chopsticks as we do. They show their feelings without any self-control.
Yep.
And they
No
do
restraint.
not know the written script or the use of it. Such traders are in the habit of roving from place to place, bartering things which they have for those that they do not have."
Imagine. I mean, there are plenty of these kind of videos on the internet where, indigenous tribes meet someone and be introduced to things. I mean, there's plenty of reaction channels that have tribal people eat chocolate for the first time, these kind of things, or drink coffee for the first time. It must have been crazy, because back then obviously nobody understood anyone, which is why obviously they needed the Chinese scholar with them, which is, I just find very fascinating. The struggle, really, the clash of cultures as well. I just find that very unique, very fascinating, and honestly, I'm a huge fan of it. It's why Vikings is one of my favorite TV shows of all times. And it's about to end, unfortunately, soon.
They are not very strange, and are withal quite harmless.
Yeah, about that. Quite harmless, eh? About that.
This video is sponsored by Magellan TV. Built by filmmakers, it is basically a Netflix for documentaries, with the widest range of history content available anywhere.
Never
So
even
if
heard
you're
of that.
keen on hearing more background about any of the sources on the voices of the past, Magellan is a great place to
Now,
start.
this sounds interesting. I don't have Netflix,
History,
but
crime,
this.
science, and space, with new documentaries added weekly. It's available anywhere and any time, and in 4K for no extra money, so it's well worth a go. I currently am binging on any and all documentaries about ancient China I can find, and have enjoyed learning more specifically about the struggles of China's remarkable first emperor through the service.
This
So, click on
sounds
the link in the description for
awesome.
a special free trial of Voices of the Past view.
You know, usually I'm like, oh, whenever there's like a thing on, I'm like, yeah, okay, I might check it out, but realistically, yeah, I'm like, yeah, not really. Now, this one, Magellan TV, actually sounds very fascinating. It actually sounds something on TV, not geographic and whatnot. That's kind of what it sounds like, but just a lot more in depth. And that's certainly something that I might have a look at. I might see some reviews first and then see whether I'll check it out or not. But
Thanks.
I don't own Netflix, so I might check this out. The Gift of the... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Then, Oribenojo wrote, 13 ri from here is a seaport called Akogi, where the family whom I serve has lived for generations. The population of the seaport consists of several thousands of rich and prosperous households. Merchants from the south and traders from the north go back and forth there as continuously as the shuttle on a loom.
Gunpowder,
Now,
China.
being
Gun.
anchored there, although it is not a deep port, is far better than here, since the port is sheltered and calm. When the report of the foreign ship was made to my grandfather, Shigetoki, and my father, Tokitaka, Tokitaka dispatched tens of boats to fetch the ship to Akogi, where it arrived 2 days later on the 27th day,
Okay.
the Tsuchinoto Day.
Okay.
Visiting the port at that time was a monk, Chu Shuso, a disciple of Ryugen in Nishu. Desirous of learning the wonders of the one-vehicle Lotus Gospel, he was staying temporarily at the port. He was well versed in the Chinese classics and known for his agility with the brush. He happened to meet Goho and they conversed in writing, and Goho felt too that he had found a true friend in a foreign land.
It just imagine how back then, I mean, some countries it was less rare than others, granted, but like, not many people know how to write. You just meet someone that actually knows that actually knows how to write, so you can actually converse with them. That must be a great feeling. Like all that time that you put into learning how to write and read became useful. That must be
There were two
awesome.
leaders among the traders, the one called Murashukusha and the other Kirishita de Mota.
Antonio
They
de
had in
Mota.
their possession an object which was about 2 or 3 shaku in length. As for its shape, it was straight on the outside with a passage inside and made of a heavy substance. Even though its inside was hollow, its bottom end was closed. There was an aperture in its side through which fire was applied.
Uh-huh.
Its shape could not be compared with anything else. When used, some mysterious medicine powder was put in it and a small lead pellet was added.
That medicine
First,
powder.
a small white target was set upon a bank. When it was discharged, the man gripped the object with one hand, straightened his posture, and squinted with one eye. When thereupon fire issued from the opening, the pellet always hit the target squarely. The explosion seemed like lightning, and the sound like rolling thunder. All bystanders covered their ears. Setting up a small target is like placing a swan target in archery.
Exactly.
One shot from this object can make a mountain of silver crumble and break through a wall of iron. Someone with aggression in mind towards a neighbouring country
Could
would
use it.
lose his life instantly when hit.
Yeah.
Needless to say, this also holds for the deer that ravage the rice just planted. The many ways this object can be used in the world cannot possibly be counted.
Traders. Useful, useful, useful to trade. Just very, very useful in the grand scope of things, so yeah. An object that everyone desires, I
On
guess.
seeing it, Lord Tokitaka thought it was the wonder of wonders. At first people did not know what to call it, nor exactly what it was used for. At last, people called it Teppo, firearm, but it was not known whether it was named by the Ming Chinese or by people on our island.
Okay. The matchlock
One
gun.
day, Tokitaka said to the two barbarians by means of double interpretation, "I do not think that I am able, but I would like to learn to shoot it." The two barbarians, also using double interpretation, answered, "If you, Lord, would like to shoot it, we would love to teach you all its secrets." Tokitaka said, "Can I really learn its secrets?" The barbarians said, "The secrets lie only in rectifying your heart and in squinting one eye." Tokitaka said, "As for rectifying the heart, the ancient sages taught people how to do it, and I have learnt it. If generally one does not follow the principle under heaven in action, movement and rest, one will necessarily end up in error."
Now, the philosophers of their
What you
time.
mean with rectifying the heart, however, is perhaps something different. If you squint with one eye, you will not be able to see what is far away. Why should one therefore squint with one eye? The barbarians responded, "This is where concentration comes in and is necessary. When
If you say so.
concentrating, a long vision is not necessary. Closing one eye does not mean that one cannot see clearly, but that one is concentrating and wishes to hit what is far away. This is what you should consider, Lord." Delighted, Tokitaka said, "That corresponds to what Lao Tzu said. To see what is small clearly, that is called clarity."
That's actually a great line, actually. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised.
That year, the day of
But I'm
the festival,
surprised.
the 9th day of the 9th month, fell on the Kanoto day, and this day was chosen as the lucky day to shoot the musket. For trial, the wondrous powder and pellet were put into the barrel. A small target was set up 100 steps away, and, lo and behold, the target was hit, almost in dead center.
Good shot. Very good shot, I have to say.
First startled, then they became frightened. In the end, however, people said in unison, "We would like to learn." Regardless of the high price, Tokitaka purchased 2 teppo from the barbarians and kept them as precious treasures in his house. As for the art of grinding and mixing the wondrous medicine, Tokitaka had his retainer Sasakawa Koshiru learn it.
Okay.
Tokitaka practiced shooting incessantly from morning to evening.
See, I'm more
As
of a
result,
sword
He
person.
was able to convert the misses of his earlier attempts.
My favorite weapon of all time is a sword. Because I know obviously a gun requires, good aim, steady hand. If you go down to like the sniper, it requires a lot more. But like for me, it's why I'm like an archery and a sword fan, because with a sword, for example, you need a lot of skill. It requires a lot of precision, skill, fluidity of movement, and also while you have all that, it also requires strength. And with archery, I just feel like it requires a lot more muscle, arm strength first of all, and also agility and dexterity, because obviously getting a bow out of your quiver, drawing it, getting an arrow out of your quiver and then drawing it on the bow, doing that quickly and while aiming, it's a very difficult task. So I've always appreciated like these weapons that require such a high degree of mastery to really excel with. But yeah, I want to see. But yeah, you can clearly see why a gun is so desired.
Into hits. 100 hits out of 100 shots.
Becoming a good
Tokitaka's
shot.
interest in the weapon was so enthusiastic that he had a number of iron workers examine and study it carefully.
Of course.
Through months, and over seasons they worked with the objective of producing a new musket.
Better.
The form of the new weapon was much like the foreign original, but the workers could not figure out how to close the bottom end of the barrel. Tokita's interest lay neither in the wooden stock nor in the ornament, but in the way that the weapon could be put to use at times of war.
Yep. And there's always
Therefore,
times of
his
war.
retainers far and near practiced with it, and there were many among them who could score 100 hits out of 100 shots.
And the modern sharpshooter was born.
Now, more than 60 years have gone since this object came to our land. There are some grey-haired people who still remember the event clearly. This could happen because our lord Tokita procured the 2 teppo from the above-mentioned barbarians and learned to use them. The first shot from them reverberated through the 60 provinces of our country. Moreover, it was Lord Tokita who made ironworkers learn the technique of their manufacture and made it possible for it to spread over the entire country. In ancient times, people chose the simile of one seed growing and becoming new seeds without number.
Yeah.
And so our island was called Tanegashima. Now, it has been the first seed in the same manner. The people of old said, if the virtuous achievements of the forebears are not made clear to the world, the descendants are to blame. For this reason, we have written this record.
You know what I'll say? This video series, it wasn't very humorous. You know, I'm trying to compare it to like other series, obviously, that explain a certain point. It wasn't humorous, like for example, oversimplified, but it was very, very informative, and also I feel like very, very relaxing. And it just works. It just, with the narrator's voice, it really, really works. That is definitely a channel I'm gonna subscribe to. It's definitely a channel I'll definitely check out more videos for, because as I said, I really enjoyed this video, and there is obviously some very interesting things such as this one, life in Japan instead of like, you know, first contact, and then this one is the Philippines. So there are definitely like a lot of things that I am interested in that this channel seems to have. So I definitely do want to check out more videos from this channel. And also will say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do so, because clearly they're doing a very good work. Now, I might have not actually spoken that much or actually talked about it that much, but because it just felt like, I almost felt rude interrupting. That's what it felt like, because it was just so calm, like so zen, like, you know, so relaxing. But also it felt like you're listening to like a wise old teacher. Like you're just like listening to them rambling and talking. You're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yes, I understand. That's basically what it felt like to me. But I enjoyed that video. This, I guess, if you want to call it the part 1 of this, which is basically what I would see as part 2, then I'll definitely say I enjoyed this video, and I definitely want to see more. But that's all I have to say, though. Again, probably my least, the video where I talk the least, to be totally honest, but it is what it is. I'll be seeing you all in the next one, everyone. Until then, have a nice day. Peace out, and bye.